What is up, guys? I'm Taylor Whedon, and this is Communication 101 Crash Course. Put your seatbelt on. And today we're going to talk about one of the most controversial areas of communications research, and that is cultivation analysis. What is it? I don't even know yet.
Mr. Whedon, are you talking about analyzing cults?
No, we're going to talk about that when we talk about the Mormons, George. So, cultivation analysis is a theory that started back in the late 1900s with a guy named George Gerbner. George Gerbner studied the long-term effects of television on viewers, and he ended up calling it cultivation analysis. The primary proposition of cultivation theory states that the more time people spend living in the television world, the more likely they are to believe social reality aligns with the reality portrayed on television.
Huh?
This means that when people start to watch a lot of TV, they start to view the world as TV portrays it. It's more naturally to happen that way. Also though, as people start viewing a lot of violence on TV, they start imagining the world to be more dangerous than it really is. Alright guys, let's talk about how it all started. The theory is actually introduced by George Gerbner, and George Gerbner has spent decades studying how violence on TV would affect society's perception. And during a study called the Cultivation Indicators Project, they closely monitored television violence of the audiences. And during this study, they studied how the lasting effects could stem from watching too much violence on TV.
Why do I care?
Well, it's actually turned to a yearly analysis comparing the amount of violence shown on TV to the amount of violence that people actually viewed. Gerber's research found that the amount of violence portrayed during prime time occurred much more frequently than it did in the real world. They also noticed in audiences that after watching large quantities of TV over a long period of time, people began to view the world in a much more scary manner. This is known as mean world syndrome. In 1981, Gerbner testified in front of a congressional subcommittee on communication. He stated that fearful people are more dependent, more easily manipulated and controlled, more susceptible to deceivingly simple, strong, tough measures and hard lines of posture. They may accept and even welcome repression if it promises to relieve their insecurities. That is the deeper problem of violence-laden television.
Okay, I kind of get it, but can you show me an example?
Look, it's a guy in a black jacket.
So
So he's gonna beat me up! We have to go the other way.
As seen in the previous example, the boy developed a stereotype about the world and the threats that were in it due to his television watching. Because of this, he was inclined to believe that people around him were evil or dangerous due to what they were wearing. This supports the cultivation analysis theory.
does this just apply to kids?
Good question, George. No, actually today it's very common for children and adults alike to view the world as a more menacing place, especially after watching news. And even more especially in light of recent events such as the Boston bombings or the shooting in Las Vegas.
Oh, so I need to watch out too?
Yes, so be careful from the perceptions you get from watching television. And join us next time for another thrilling episode on framing. This has been Communications 101 Crash Course. Have a good day.
Mr. Whedon!
George, you shut up already? Video's over.